Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
Yes! I feel like I've been waiting for this my entire life.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Jolly good fun. Jolly good.
Locking down the middle of the day.
America's favorite daytime fun show.
Live from the Raising Cane's studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Welcome in. Hunt Palmer coming to you from the Raising Cane studio downtown in the capital city on this Mardi Gras day. Got Jordan Kitchens, Cassie Spazzali back there on the ones and twos. Fired up. You are here with us. If you got the day off, thanks for checking in with us. If you're out on the route, thanks for checking in with us. If you're punching the time clock like us, thanks for checking in with us. We'll do plenty between now and 3 o'clock. Of course, LSU baseball gets a win yesterday, last night at the box. LSU news on football coaching front as well. Glenn West will be with us at 1:30. I want to talk a little bit about post-game press conference last night. It was a little bit late at the box, but heard from Gavin Gry and Mason Braun. I thought both were excellent in the post-game press conference, not to mention on the field. And I want to talk a little bit about them individually, kind of personally, and what they've gone through in the last couple of years in very different circumstances. One trying to find his way to college baseball, one trying to find his way back onto the field. But really, really good stuff we'll talk about in the second hour. LSU's got a basketball game tonight in Austin, Texas. So plenty to do. Let's get it rolling with our opening drive.
Welcome to the big league.
It's time for Hunt's Opening Drive. Presented by Fabry Chevrolet GMC in St. Francisville.
10-7 the final from the box last night. LSU moves to 4-0, beats Kent State, who was previously unbeaten, having swept Southeastern Louisiana over the weekend. It was an offensive onslaught from LSU early. LSU got 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth. They were not retired without scoring a run in their first 6 at-bats of the game, and you saw the long ball really show up early and often. Jake Braun with just a missile out to right center field. Then the young freshman, Mason Braun, with a 3-run home run just inside the opposite field foul pole. It's a high fly ball that was twisting and curling. I kept looking, going, that ball keeping carrying. It's going to carry. And it snuck around the foul pole for a home run. Braun came back in the third and just hit the trajectory of a 1-iron out of the ballpark to center field. Just a ridiculous display of raw power on that swing for Jake Braun. But it wasn't just the home runs that LSU was able to create. You saw a bunt single from LSU. You saw Zach York move up 90 feet on a dirt ball, which got the crowd into a frenzy. I tweeted this out. I've heard celebrations for home runs with less enthusiasm than I heard for Zach York taking an extra 90 feet on a ball in the dirt, but he was able to score on a Trent Caraway single. Cade Arrambide had a big 2-out RBI single back through the middle of the baseball field. You saw Derek Curiel advance from third base home on a ball that didn't get too far behind the catcher. Just a lot of really good stuff offensively for LSU. Seth Dardar drew 3 walks in the game. It was just kind of a complete effort offensively with all the things that you want to see. Sometimes you're limited in this part of the calendar based on ridiculous wind conditions, bitter cold, and it's just sometimes hard to get the entire offense into a rhythm. We're lucky right now. We've got really warm conditions, and LSU is using those, and they're playing really good offensively. And I really liked what I saw. I know it's Kent State's midweek pitching. Got it. Understood. However, scoring a run in your first 6 at-bats, driving the ball out of the ballpark, using the whole field, advancing on opportunities when you got a base runner to move forward, scoring with 2 outs on RBI singles through drawn in infields. This is just the stuff you want to see. It doesn't always translate right into the SEC, but I'd certainly like it to the alternative. I'd like it as opposed to not doing it right now and then trying to do it in the SEC. So I thought the LSU offense was excellent for 6 innings. Didn't get it done in the 7th or the 8th, but you had a 10 spot on the board, and that was able to stand up. I said this on yesterday's show. I could be proven wrong. I will leave that door wide open. But this is just what my eye tells me, and that's all I've got for you here, is my eye tells me Milwaukee's decent. My eye tells me Kent State's pretty good. I think Kent State's offense is pretty good. We'll see. They're in Knoxville to play Tennessee in a 3-game set this weekend. I'm curious to see how that goes. I think Tennessee will win all 3 games. I think Kent State will hit. I think they hit in Hammond. They hit last night, and I think they will hit in Knoxville. The home run that Sawyer Solitaria hit. Now, we mentioned him on the show yesterday. This guy hit 3 home runs over the weekend. He got 8 hits. He reached base 10 times. He had a nice freshman season. He's a sophomore. He's huge. The home run he hit yesterday, if you missed this, dude, he hit it, and it was one of those, it doesn't happen all the time at the box, but he hit it, and it was a no-doubter immediately. And then it's like, okay, well, when's it going to land? And it banged off 3/4 of the way up the scoreboard on the left side where the advertisements run. I couldn't tell if it hit Hancock Whitney or FMOL Health, but those are the top 2 on the left side, and it crashed in 3/4 of the way up. I went into the radio booth because they got TrackMan in there. Doug Thompson said, I tweeted this out because it's just an astronomical number for a college baseball hitter, especially in February, to get to. 439 feet on that home run. 439. Titanic blast. And then, big 3-run double swing and a 4-run inning for those guys off of Grant Fontenot in the late innings. I thought they swung the bats okay. LSU did hang 7 zeros, and there was some really good stuff from LSU's pitching staff. Newt wasn't great. The 3 walks in 3 innings were not great. But I thought Plog was okay. He did issue another walk, but he had 2 strikeouts, hit a guy, but he's going to throw more strikes. He's missing bats for sure. Devin Sheeran, we're going to have to talk about, because Devin Sheeran on Sunday and Monday combined in back-to-back outings faced 4 hitters and struck them all out. He's throwing 98, 99 this early in the season. When the weather gets to be 97 and he's all lathered up, he's going to be hitting 100, 101, and it's very similar to the frame and the velocity level and really the heaviness of the ball that Chase Shores threw last year. He's not 6'8", but he's got a similar profile, and he's striking everybody out. He was also out there for a strike him out, throw him out, so he got credit for an inning of work when he only faced 2 hitters. Maverick Rizzi, I thought, was throwing the ball hard, had a good breaking ball. He threw an inning of scoreless baseball. Primo and Fontenot were not good. Fontenot got hit hard. Primo put a guy on base via the walk and hit a guy. But then you went to Gavin Gry. And I'm going to talk about Gavin Gry in the second hour based on his journey. But just for what we've seen now in 2 outings, which was Friday and Monday, he looks like as good a reliever as LSU has. He went out there in the situation in the 7th inning last night, and he missed high with the breaking ball to his arm side. It didn't break, and it stayed up high, and Aaron Beatty couldn't quite catch it. And then in the 8th, he spiked a breaking ball, meaning he got too much break on it, and it hit in the left-handed batter's box. And I was sitting in the press box, and I was going, he doesn't have feel for his breaking ball. And if he doesn't have a feel for his breaking ball, he's leaving one high and into the right-hander and one snapped way too hard, low and away to the right-hander. Like, he doesn't have a feel for that. And if he doesn't have a feel for the slider, he's got no chance. And then we talked to him about it after the game, but he threw a good one. And then he threw good ones the rest of the way. It's like at one point it clicked, and then he had it, and they had no shot. 5 strikeouts, no hits, no walks in 2 1/3. Dominant. 24 strikes in 33 pitches. Got a ground out, got a fly out, got the 5 punch outs. That's it. And he was throwing 91, 92, 93. He had the 2 different breaking balls going. He can throw a changeup. And then he had the presence about him that I just like at the back end of games. I just like my closer to have a little bit of moxie to him. And he absolutely does. And he was fantastic in the game last night. Now, I asked him about missing with those early couple of breaking balls. He said, well, I actually didn't think I was going to go into the game as quickly as I did. The way Fontenot has thrown the ball in the fall and in the preseason, you kind of felt like Fontenot was going to finish the 7th inning. And he didn't. He gave up the big triple, and then he gave up another hit. And they had to go get Gidry, and he was not quite ready to enter the game. His body was ready to where he wasn't going to get hurt, but he hadn't worked on his breaking ball enough in the bullpen. He had loosened up, he had thrown, but he was only on the fastball portion of his warm-up, and then it was time to go. So he got out there and spun a couple in the warm-ups on the game mound, but he wasn't really ready to let the hammer go. And the first couple were not good, but he found it, and it was there. And I prefer my closer to throw 100 if we're just going to take preferences here. I prefer that, but that's a devastating pair of breaking balls that he has. It's a fearless pedigree on the mound that we know he has, and the results speak for themselves. I mean, if you're looking at Gavin Gry through 2 outings in this young season where, who knows what he's got because he hadn't pitched in a very long time, statistically, he really can't do any better than what he's done. I mentioned last night with the 2 1/3 innings, 5 strikeouts, not putting anybody on base via the free pass, starting guys with strikes, just everything you're looking for guys coming out of the bullpen, including that moxie. But just looking at it on paper, statistically, he has just been dominant. And again, we all understand where we are here. We all understand it's Milwaukee and Kent State. Nobody's trying to spring or make any more significance out of it than what it is. We know that LSU starts with these type of games and these type of teams every single year. But Guidry has 10 strikeouts and no walks in 4 1/3 innings. He's given up 1 hit, a double. So the batting average against is .71. The sample size is razor small. It's 4 1/3 innings. 10 strikeouts, no walks is significant. And when you pair that with what I've seen him do in preseason, he's got it figured out. And he's right now put himself right at the top of the guys that you're going to have in the game when it's crunch time. So for me, nice effort by LSU in this game. Really good offense for the first 6 innings. Versatile throughout the lineup. I mean, you had 2 guys in your starting lineup that did not score a run, and both drove in a run. Aaron Beatty did, as well as Caraway. So you were good 1 through 9. You showed some power. You showed some discipline. You showed some two-strike hitting. You showed some opposite field hitting. You ran the bases, and then I thought there were some really good things on the mound. You got some guys that aren't throwing it as well. Plog's got to throw more strikes for sure. Fontenot wasn't great last night. Primo was not great last night. And Newt was not great last night. But it's early. You got to get those guys on the mound and get them throwing the baseball, and we'll sort this whole thing out. You got another game coming up tomorrow against Nichols. Then you go to Jacksonville, and you got 3 games Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you get this thing off and rolling. I feel like there is a chance that Louisiana Lafayette is next week in the midweek. Let me check that. Nope, McNeese is next week in the midweek. You'll have McNeese. Then you've got a Dartmouth Northeastern wraparound weekend, and then you'll go to Lafayette the following week. So the last midweek before the last non-conference weekend, which is Sacramento State, you'll go on the road and play UL Lafayette. But on the road to a neutral site this week in Jacksonville. Incidentally, we'll have the president of Peak Events on tomorrow to talk about all the streaming situations and everything that's going into that. But we're off and running now. Got the first 4 games in the rearview mirror. Off day today for the guys, and they'll get back at it tomorrow against the Nichols team that went up to Knoxville and got swept over the weekend. They play tonight, incidentally, in Thibodaux before they come to Baton Rouge tomorrow for an afternoon 1 o'clock start time, which, if we're just being honest, I don't love the 1 o'clock start time for my 1 o'clock radio show, but it is what it is. Jay's not consulting me. And I think they got to catch a plane to Jacksonville, so that's the way it's going to be. Let's look at LSU baseball. We'll catch more of that with Glenn West coming up in 15 minutes. When we come back, LSU football, there was going to be a shakeup on the staff. Not going to be a shakeup on the staff? What does that mean? We'll talk about it next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
First American Bank and Trust. First American Bank and Trust started up in 1910. 1910. 116 years later, they're still right here. In fact, they're bigger and better than ever. 25 locations throughout Southeast Louisiana. That means there's always one near you if this is home for you. It's home for First American Bank and Trust. Every single decision that they make, it's your commercial loan, your personal loan for your home. Every decision they make is made locally in Southeast Louisiana. You call them up, you're getting somebody in Southeast Louisiana, not a call center trying to find you on a line. It's somebody that goes to church with you, somebody whose kids play on your kids' baseball team. That's who you get at First American Bank and Trust. They've built our trust over the course of, 11 decades. And they're big enough to help you with whatever it is you need from a commercial loan perspective and a personal loan perspective with that community feel you know and love. It's First American Bank and Trust. First American Bank and Trust.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's doubloon for just $1 that scores you extra cane sauce through April 3rd with any purchase. Let the good times roll this Mardi Gras with Raising Cane's. One love.
Okay, and what is our goal?
Less than 110.
That's right, less than 110.
We teach. We laugh. We pray.
Dear Heavenly Father, please guide our hands during this procedure.
Hey, how we feeling today?
I'm feeling better.
We heal.
You look better.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
We do all things
I got you. No way.
with great love. FMOL Health. This is how we healthcare.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me. Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here, helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Yesterday, I sat down to put together the show, and I was like, okay, well, we had a whole baseball weekend that we wanted to get to. Got that done, and we had a baseball game coming up that evening. I wanted to get to that. Then you had the announcement that had happened at 9 o'clock with the jersey patches. LSU's women's basketball team played a monster game on Saturday against South Carolina, and then you also had Southeastern Conference baseball, and I just... This happens every once in a while. Not a lot, I don't think, but it does happen every once in a while. There was a story that I just forgot to get to. And it wasn't as if it was because I didn't think it was a big deal. There was a lot of stuff that was more recent and more fresh, and this news broke Friday evening, which, as you know, is the worst time to break news if you want it to stay in the news cycle, and I just forgot. And then yesterday, it flipped. So we can address it again. On3 reported on Friday that LSU's safeties coach, Jake Olsen, was the prime candidate and expected to take the safeties coach job with the Washington Commanders in the NFL. And so we published that at LouisianaSports.net, and I just kind of got swallowed up in baseball and Mardi Gras and the whole deal. I left it on Friday. I completely forgot about it. And then I'm at the box yesterday, and LSU's playing Kent State, and on 3 reports, oh, by the way, Olsen not going to the Commanders, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay, we wrote that back up, and now let's address that. Jake Olsen came to LSU with Blake Baker after the 2023 season, when LSU had such a terrible, terrible defense. They cleaned house with Matt House and went and got Blake Baker from Missouri. And Blake Baker took 2 coaches with him from Missouri. Take Jake Olsen with the safeties, Kevin Peakles with the edge rushers. He wanted those 2 guys as part of his defensive staff. And he still got them as we sit here through a different head coaching staff at LSU. And that tells you that obviously Blake Baker prioritizes Jake Olsen. I've had limited interactions with Jake Olsen. I have interviewed him for the pregame show twice. That's been the extent of my interactions. That is a total of probably 9 minutes over 2 interactions total. So for me to sit here and say I've got a great read on what kind of coach he is, what kind of guy he is, that whole deal would be reaching. But I'm putting my card. This is my interaction with Jake Olsen, about 9-10 minutes. I don't find him to be a dynamic personality to interview in that setting. A lot of the assistants aren't, like Blake Baker is. But he's very thoughtful. And my sense in speaking with people inside the program about him is that he's just very meticulous, not necessarily the most rah-rah guy, but takes care of his business. And that's what Blake Baker prioritizes in him. Now, I can go to Pro Football Focus Analytics, and I can tell you that A.J. Halsey graded out great. I can tell you that Deshaun Spears was as good a player as LSU had in terms of those grades in a smaller sample size. I can tell you that Tamarcus Cooley didn't grade out very well on that. I can tell you that Matt Flynn and Jacob Hester watch a ton of LSU football film, and they think Halsey and Cooley were awesome last year. And I can look at numbers. I can look at raw numbers. And one of the things safeties are responsible for, and they're not solely responsible for, but one of the things they are partly responsible for is preventing big plays, right? It's the last line of defense. And in 2023, when LSU was as bad a defense as they've ever fielded, and Blake Baker and Jake Olsen were at Missouri, LSU was 111th in the country. That's bad, obviously, in 30-plus yard plays allowed. They allowed 33 of them that year. 111th in the country. Then Olsen comes in with Baker. And they made a little improvement. They got it to 85th in the country. That was 27 of those big plays of 30-plus yards. Last year, 2025, 2 years into the new system with Baker, with Olsen at safety, with an overhaul of talent in that room, where you moved on from Jordan Gilbert and you moved on from Sage Ryan and you moved on from some of those guys and you went with A.J. Halsey and Tamarcus Cooley and Deshaun Spears, and like that was your group. No more Major Burns. And the result was you were 18th in the country in 30-plus yard plays allowed. 17 total. So you went from 111th, giving up 33, to 18th, giving up 17. You cut the number in half. Now, that's not all the safeties, but as I mentioned, like, there are a few ways I can analyze this. If you want to go just by honors, A.J. Halsey was an All-American by Sporting News. Deshaun Spears, the SEC Defensive Player of the Week against Florida when he had the picks, including the pick 6. LSU's safety play has gotten better since Jake Olsen showed up, since Blake Baker showed up. And what it appears happened here, because, like, On3 is not making stuff up. They're not just reporting, well, I think the Commanders might call Jake Olsen. Let's be first on this. Olsen to the Commanders, boom. They're not making stuff up. They're hearing from agents what's going on, and I would think it's a reasonable assumption to suggest that Jake Olsen was very high on the Commanders list, and they probably offered him the job. And I think it's reasonable to suggest that Jake Olsen probably thought he was going to take that job with the Commanders at some point over this weekend, whether that was Friday at lunch, Friday evening, Saturday morning. I think it was reasonable to suggest he was going to do that. And then what I think is also reasonable is that Blake Baker and Lane Kiffin got on the phone and said, no, what do you need? And I think they came through with it. Another example, and I'm speculating here, but I think my feet are on the ground here with speculation. I don't think I've got some kind of wild conspiracy theory going here. I think I'm pretty grounded in what I'm suggesting here, that LSU has had opportunities since Lane Kiffin took over to have coaches leave for more money or a different chance. And they told Charlie Weiss, sit right back down. Here's $500,000 a year extra. You're an offensive coordinator. You're not going anywhere. And I think they probably did something not that drastic, but similar with Jake Olsen. And I've been talking about this for the better part of 2 months. Like, the continuity on the defensive side of the ball, I think, is a very big positive for LSU, for this program, because you have so much of people on the offensive side. Having the defensive side a little bit settled, especially considering that's the sign that Lane Kiffin needs someone else to take the reins of, is a huge positive in year one. How long you get that? Probably 2 years. Hopefully 2 years. Hopefully not 1 year. But if it's 1 year, hopefully it's a great year, and that's why it happens. But you're never going to have 10 years of stability on one side of the ball. But if you can get a couple, that's a good thing. And they've kept Blake Baker around, and they've kept Kevin Peoples around, and they've kept Corey Raymond around, and now they kept Jake Olsen around. And you're starting to build a little bit of continuity on the defensive side, and those numbers are encouraging as I point them out. And the safety play has been better. And Blake Baker, we believe, is a really good coach, and this guy speaks his language and has been under him now for better than 3 years. So I think this is a very, very good thing for LSU. I'm not here to overreact to it or to suggest that this is a significantly expectation-altering decision that's been made. I'm just here to tell you I think it's good for LSU. I think it would have been a bummer to lose a coach at this point in the cycle. You obviously don't have signing day, and you've still got better than a month until spring ball starts. So they would have been able to fill this spot before spring ball even started, but filling it with the guy who has done it the last couple of years and has a relationship with Spears and has a relationship with Cooley and is bringing in Ty Benefield. Like, I think their safety position is strong. I think it's under good leadership. And I think the play on the field has suggested that. I'd like to have A.J. Halsey come back, but you don't get to do that. So Jake Olsen flirts with Washington. Probably at some point thought he was taking that job. LSU came in and said, no. And that's just another example of when LSU needs to find the resources, LSU has generally found the resources. Not to say it's going to happen every single time, but it feels like it did in this case, and I think that's a positive thing for LSU's defense. Jake Olsen, second safeties coach, headed back to Baton Rouge for a third season under Blake Baker with the Tigers. All right, we're going to talk to Glenn West about some Tigers when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Boudreaux's Electrical Services. Boudreaux's Electrical Services. Nothing bums you out quite like the power going out. Whether it's expected or unexpected, it's just unacceptable. Sometimes we're at home in the summer months, and those storms blow through that are just those afternoon heavy thunder showers, and you lose power for like 3 hours. It's just a drag. You can't get any work done. The house heats up to 95 degrees. Do what you can to prevent that, and get Boudreaux's Electrical to install that Generac home standby generator soon. Get them to do it, because you know the next storm season is around the corner as well. The last thing you want to do, even if you have to evacuate for a storm, is come back to a 98-degree house that's fridge is ruined and that's completely uncomfortable while you pick up the pieces. Get that home Generac standby generator from a local company at Boudreaux's Electrical. Neil and Melissa have been doing this for 40 years. Let them do that for you. Call them at 985-397-1562. Again, 985-397-1562. That's the number they've had forever and ever down there in the 985. But also Gonzales location, 225-393-89. They're trusted electricians serving South Louisiana. They're happy to service you next. It's Boudreaux's Electrical. You can find them online at boudreauxelectrical.com.
It's 2026 and you're thinking about your future. College, workforce, tech school? This could help clear it up for you. According to a 2025 Georgetown University study, ITI Technical College ranked as the #1 college in all of Louisiana for return on investment. So the better return on your dollar for your education begins here. Call us or visit us online to start your new career or to get the life that you've always wanted for your family. ITI Technical College. We're in the better life business.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized, it'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refresh.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
A lot of LSU baseball to get to in hour number 2. I want to talk about Gavin Gry, and I want to talk a little bit about Mason Braun as well. I had a chance to visit with those two guys for an extended period last night after LSU beat Kent State. So we'll do that in hour number 2. A guy that was in the room for all of that, Glenn West, senior writer over Go 24/7. Give us a little time here on this Mardi Gras day. Glenn, how are you?
Doing great, Hunt. How about yourself?
Doing just fine. If you had 3 outs to get, and you could take any pitcher on this LSU staff, all the way through the staff, starters, relievers, after watching a weekend of games, who would you ask to get the 3 outs?
I mean, it's hard not to go to Gavin Gry first, just based off of what we've seen here through 4 games. I would probably be inclined, if we're talking just 3 outs, Kason Evans showed us enough in his freshman year that I think he'd be just a phenomenal guy to go out there and get you 3 outs if you needed 3 outs. I'm not out on Kason Evans one bit. So I would probably stick with Kason Evans, but I mean, Gavin Gidry's been up there. Devin Sheeran's been awesome through 2 outings here. Maverick Rizzi's a really good option, and then Cooper Moore is right up there as well. Those have been kind of maybe the 4 or 5 guys that have stood out to me through 4 games, and I don't think you could go wrong with any of them.
What did you like about Cooper Moore over the weekend?
Yeah, I thought he just was really dialed in with all of his pitches. I mean, the changeup that he has is absolutely nasty. That was something that we talked with him and Jay Johnson about after the game on Saturday. And just, when he has that thing in control, he's just a very hard pitcher to hit because he's also got a really nice changeup. He's got a really nice slider. He's got, pretty decent movement on the fastball as well. And just had those Milwaukee hitters really searching for answers, and they just could never really figure him out. And so just, pumping the strike zone of at least 61 of his 76 pitches landed for strikes, and just got ahead in every single count, it felt like. And when you're a pitcher that's able to do that and have, there's several off-speed pitches that you can go to and feel comfortable with, I think he's going to be a huge, huge piece to this rotation going forward, and was certainly the highlight of the starters that we've seen to this point.
Everybody wanted to get a look at William Schmidt on Sunday. What'd you think?
I thought he was okay. I thought he bounced back well in the fourth inning after getting touched up there a little bit in the third. I mean, it's just we saw the complete William Schmidt experience there, I think, in his debut. I think that's just the best way you can describe it. He struck out a lot of guys. He walked a couple. He allowed a few hard hits, and he allowed some runs. And I think just the biggest question mark with him is just that control and that command. If he's able to dial it in, if he's able to complement that fastball with some pretty consistent breaking balls, he's going to be really tough to get figured out. But I think he's got all the talent in the world, all the potential in the world. But there's certainly some things that they're still going to have to continue to work with him on here. But I thought it was good, and Jay Johnson kind of told us this after that game, that it was good that he had some small wins in terms of adversity, and getting that 3 spot up there in the third inning to come back with a 3-up, 3-down fourth with a couple punch outs, I think was really important for him and his confidence, and now we'll see what he can build on here going forward.
Any reason to believe it won't be those 3 guys this weekend in Jacksonville?
I mean, I really love what Cooper Williams did as well. Like, he was another guy that I forgot to mention there, I guess, in that opening question. Like, I think at some point this year, Cooper Williams is going to slide into that rotation at some point and be given an opportunity to start. I don't know when that's going to happen, but he's just a really consistent left-handed arm. Another guy that just pummels the strike zone, throws a lot of strikes, and lands a lot of his off-speed pitches for strikes. And so I think at some point Cooper Williams finds his way in there. Who he's replacing, I couldn't tell you at this point, but he's somebody that if they were to make a change or were to kind of switch things up here at week 2, he'd be the one I'd want to keep an eye on.
Glenn West, our guest, senior editor at Go 24/7. Let's talk a little bit about the offense, which has been really good for a lot of stretches and had a bit of a hiccup early in the game on Saturday. They figured it out late and got a couple of big hits from veterans to put that one away. But has anybody stood out to you offensively?
Yeah, there's been a couple guys. I mean, I think, for me, Zach York is a guy that, just getting a chance to now see him for 4 games just takes really disciplined at bats. A guy that's not going to get himself out very often. I think he drew 6 or 7 free passes here over the first 4 games. Had obviously a big home run yesterday and a big home run to lead off the scoring on Friday. So been very impressed with what he's done over at first base. I think Seth Dardar, the other new guy they brought in from a transfer perspective, as kind of a second base / DH guy. I think he's shown you a lot of things here these first 4 games that make you believe he can be a pretty big staple there on the infield. Certainly want to see that consistency carry over here going forward, but I've really been impressed with what he's done. And then Mason Braun, the freshman, I think is another guy that had got that opening day start. We'd heard about him. We've seen him a little bit here in the preseason, has some big days, and finally got that opportunity here on Monday to kind of have his welcome to Alex Box moment. You talked to him, you talked to Jay Johnson after the game. Those 2 guys, were very much in sync about what he could potentially be in this program going forward. So I think he's going to be an excellent option for you at DH. And then I think, a lot of the guys, certainly the returners, Jake Braun did a really nice job. Obviously, he's on an absolute heater and had 4 home runs there in about a 24-hour span. Yeah. So he's just been fantastic, been the leader of the offense. But those are just a couple of guys that have stood out to me, and I think that they'll continue to earn a lot of opportunities. And I think the common theme there is they're all left-handed batters, and Jay Johnson loves left-handed batters especially when you're going to face righties. And I think you're going to see a lot of those guys here going forward.
I got a big smile out of the head coach of the LSU baseball team last night when I asked him about seven lefties in the lineup. He didn't even answer the question. He just goes, yeah, big smile. That was all I got on that. What did you learn about Mason Braun last night in the postgame?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think he's somebody that is just ultra confident in the way that he's put in and the amount of work that he's put in. You can tell just by talking to him that he loves being here. He told us last night that this was kind of his dream school, that he was waiting on it to kind of come to fruition. And when LSU finally discovered him there, I think it was going into his junior year, is what Jay Johnson said. They moved on him quick, and he flipped his commitment from Virginia Tech to LSU, and the rest is history. And I think it was very interesting because Jay Johnson's he told us last night he's not one to play the comp game very much, but when he brought up a combination of Trey Morgan, Josh Pearson, and Cade Beloso, I think a lot of our eyes kind of a lot of the eyebrows on our faces just kind of really rose when he kind of made that comparison, because he thinks Mason Braun has the potential to be kind of a combination of all those three guys. And I think that's a really, really high praise for the freshman. He's going to be a big-time hitter here going forward.
No question about that at this point. Just a matter of how much he plays on this team, and I guess we'll just have to see. All right, Glenn, let's shift over to hoops. They lose in Knoxville over the weekend. Deion Thomas out for the year. Max McKinnon didn't play on Saturday. There's not a lot of good news. How do you feel they can handle things in Austin tonight?
Not great. I mean, hopefully you can get back McKinnon into the lineup. I was actually pleasantly surprised with how they played at Tennessee. They were in it for most of the game. They did a nice job of, whenever Tennessee would try to, kind of build up some momentum and take a lead, they do a nice job of hitting a couple big threes and just hanging around. But the last 5 minutes, they only scored 3 points. They just didn't have enough offense to close, and it was just a very predictable finish there in Knoxville. So, Texas is a team that's red hot right now. They've won 4 straight. They've obviously got a coach in Sean Miller that's very adept with winning and knows how to build winning programs there. And so I think it's going to be tough, especially if they don't have McKinnon to go in there and find a way to win. But I thought that they held their own against Tennessee, but it's just at this point, I think most people are just waiting to the end of the season here and just seeing what the future holds for Matt McMahon, what the future holds for this program, and just how many of these guys you can expect back next year.
We'll see about it. Glenn, we'll talk next week. Thanks, man.
All right. Thanks, Hunt.
Glenn West, senior writer over at Go 24/7, covering LSU team coverage, recruiting coverage. They got you all covered over there at Go 24/7. Baby Chevrolet GMC, Highway 61 in St. Francisville, now under new ownership as of October 1st. Brand new ownership with the Fabry family there in St. Francisville. But the Fabry family, they've been at this thing for 35 years, 3 locations, 5 brands, incredible customer service, great buying experience, and then service after the sale as well. Look, if you're looking for a truck, February is the month, and you got about 2 more weeks left. You got your Silverados on the Chevy side, up to $11,000 off MSRP or 1.9% APR financing. If you're on the GMC side with the Sierras, up to $13,000 off MSRP. That is no small chunk of change right there. Or 0% APR financing on that. They service all makes and models in the service department as well. Make that short drive to St. Francisville or check out the entire inventory. That whole inventory is online at FabryChevrolet.com. That's FabryChevrolet.com. As I mentioned, and last night after the game was over, the team has their meeting, and then we go into the meeting room for press conferences. Usually Jay Johnson comes first, and then he goes and does radio with Bill Franquez. They were a little bit late on that front, so we had Mason Braun first. Then Jay Johnson did radio. Then Jay Johnson came and talked to us. Then Gavin Gry came in late, so it ended up being like a 45-minute press situation, which usually they're out of there in 15, 18 minutes. So it was a longer deal, and it was like 10:30 by the time I left there. But I did think, and this is not always the case, but in this case it was an enlightening conversation with Jay Johnson, with Mason Braun, and with Gavin Gry on a number of different topics, and I'm going to get into a lot of that coming up in the second hour, because it was and sometimes you get more information than you think out of a press conference. And what we got, a lot of times that press conference is going to be about the game. What'd you see on this pitch? What was the dugout thinking at this point? What'd you see from left field here? That kind of stuff, and that can be pretty quick. This was Gavin Gry talking about his entire recovery, and Mason Braun talking about his entire high school career trying to get to LSU. I thought it was enlightening, so I wanted to spend some time talking about that in hour number 2, and we will do a lot of that in hour number 2. We'll also touch on LSU and Texas basketball tonight as well. So plenty to do. When we come back, I believe in this segment, let me make sure that I'm correct. Yeah, I think we've got some Saints to talk about, so we'll do that when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Highland Insurance Group, HighlandIG.com, HighlandIG.com. Jonathan Carver and his team are just awesome folks to work with. I tell you every day about their property and casualty department. They can handle your commercial insurance. No matter what it is that you do, they can handle it. But also, on the flip side of that, they do group and employee benefits. We understand if you're a business owner, you're in HR, you understand the importance of benefits in recruiting talent to your organization and maintaining talent in your organization. And if you're one of these companies that is looking at your next benefits renewal and the price tag is just getting exorbitant, it's getting untenable, you're not alone. There's a carrier in the state that's really raised rates significantly over the last 5 years, and the Howard Insurance Group has been taking calls from some disgruntled customers on that end that have moved over to Howard Insurance Group. So if you are a business that's looking for a group employee benefits renewal or maybe a second set of eyes or a second option on that front because the price tag is going up and up and up, the Howard Insurance Group is happy to help you out with that. You can find them online at HighlandIG.com, HighlandIG.com.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge, swingeasygcbr.com, swingeasygcbr.com. They're on Segan at Perkins. Get on by and play some golf this weekend. It's an awesome place to go hang out with friends. You can play Pebble Beach, play Cypress Point, play TPC Sawgrass, challenge yourself on the Island Green, or that course they play where they give out the overgarment every April. you can play that course as well. It's right there on the simulator at Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. If you don't have 5 hours to play golf or don't have a tee time at a course around town, Swing Easy is a great alternative. Get on by and see them there. Segan at Perkins. Play some golf. Hit on the driving range. Grab a bucket of beers. Watch on TV. Comfortable seating. Crank up the tunes. Bring some friends or go by yourself. Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. SwingEasyGCBR.com. All right, looking at mock drafts, it is that time of year, and there are going to be a lot that come out over the course of the next 6 weeks. And a lot of the Saints mock drafts are going to revolve around weapons on the offensive end. No question. You're going to see Jeremiah Love frequently mocked to the New Orleans Saints, and Daniel Jeremiah did that in his first mock draft. He released his second this week, and he came off that pick for New Orleans and instead went with USC wide receiver Makai Lemon. Now, in this mock draft, Jordan Tyson is available at this pick. He goes with Makai Lemon instead. Tyson falls to number 14 at this pick. Makai Lemon is not as physically tall as Jordan Tyson, and I don't think he runs quite as well, but he is a physical wide receiver. He's 5'11", 195 in terms of what he's listed at. We'll see when the combine rolls around if that's what he actually measures in at. But look, as a junior at USC this past year, 79 catches, it's a big number, 1,156 yards and 11 touchdowns, also rushed for 2 touchdowns. And one of the things that I've seen this on multiple different outlets, really like his ability to block down the field as well. PFF charted Lemon, said he ran routes from the slot almost 76% of the time at USC. Incredibly sure hands, only 4 drops on 183 targets, had 28 contested catches, made 16 of those, averaged 6.8 yards per catch. He is really good at working the short and intermediate stuff. Even though he's not Michael Thomas in terms of his frame, he's quick and he's strong and he's willing to play in tight quarters, comfortable doing that as well. I'm not here to be an expert on wide receiver group composition. He does feel a little bit like Olave. When I think about Olave, I think about winning in the intermediate. I think about a guy who's not 6'4". I think about a guy with sure hands more often than not. He's had his share of drops, absolutely. But once Shuck took over and there was a little bit more rhythm to the way things were going, I think the drops kind of went away to an extent. But he's a guy that plays some in the slot, wins in the intermediate, not overly tall. Like, it kind of feels like another option there. And so I look at that one of two ways. I look at it and go, you're kind of getting close to the same guy here, or you're getting a second option that teams have to deal with that kind of can do the same thing. So how can you take away both of them? I think as I look at this, I probably prefer Tyson. I probably prefer the variety. That's what I feel like at this point without really diving into the weeds on it. But I do see benefit in getting another guy that plays similarly so that you can do that on both sides of the field, right? You look at maybe Polk is the more physical and taller wide receiver for this team. Certainly Devon Vele is taller and has that kind of presence to him. So maybe you don't need Jordan Tyson. I can really be convinced into all of these things, which is to say, as long as you get a really talented wide receiver or running back in this spot, I think it's tough to completely disagree with. I understand the rationale between hating drafting running back 9th or 8th. I get it. I fully do. But I understand the rationale in doing it as well. And I fully understand the rationale of saying, hey, this is kind of a similar wide receiver to what you already have in Olave. But how much do you trust Polk and how much do you trust Vele and how much do you want to veer away from that kind of guy because you already have it? It's there are options here, and I don't think any of them are wrong. I heard Nick Underhill on the morning show today say something interesting, that when the Saints draft best player available, it usually goes pretty well. When the Saints feel like they're pigeonholed into one spot, oh my gosh, we have to get a tackle at this spot. We have to get Trevor Penning. He's the only guy left. That's where you end up making trouble. And so for the Saints, because they have so many available spots on their roster, so many quote-unquote holes to fill, as long as you fill one hole with a really good player, I'm not as concerned with which one it is. Makai Lemon is an incredibly productive receiver at USC. I can get on board with that. I think right now, I would lead Jordan Tyson, but I'm okay with that. And if these are the two guys at wide receiver that they're really targeting, I think that's good. If you go offensive line again for the 915th time in a row, I might complain a little bit. But at this case, I think that Mekhi Lemon does make some sense. In this mock draft, Jeremiah Love, beg your pardon, another good Jeremiah. Jeremiah Love goes to the Rams at number 13 in this pick. Saints in front of that. Maybe he's there for them if they want to make that pick. Jordan, what you think?
I think, like I said, best player available. If they do go Lemon, that just means that they are fully bought in with Vele as being that big guy. And so that means they're just bought in that he's the guy. And it does mean that I see I see Lemon more of a threat, like you said, compared to Olave, like 2-2, both of them going hand to hand. So it'd be cool. Best player available for sure for me.
See what they can do. Missed any of hour number 1, including LSU baseball talk, our chat with Glenn West, and LSU football with Jake Olsen. You can catch it all on demand at Hunt Palmer Show, wherever you find your sound. Certainly, you can find it all at Hunt on LSU and Hunt on Saints as well. Got a lot of LSU baseball in hour number 2. We're going to talk some LSU basketball as well, but a lot of LSU talk coming at you after Sports Center. Hope everybody's having a happy and very safe Mardi Gras day. We're going to pause for national headlines and Sports Center. Come back with a full hour number 2 on this Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Gotros Outdoor Power. Gotros Outdoor Power. 2 locations here in the Baton Rouge area, I guess would be more properly put. They're on Airline Highway in Baton Rouge, and then certainly you can find them in their location in Gonzales. If you're looking for a zero-turn mower, you understand that it's time to get that done because the grass is about to start growing. You can see those clovers start to pop up. What if I told you that the folks at Gotros Outdoor Power can get you behind the wheel of a brand new zero-turn mower for under $100 a month? Like, think about what you pay to have your grass cut every 2 weeks. Why don't you just do it with one of the largest selections in the state? When you're talking about Hustler, they got them all right there. So go check them out. On Airline Highway, got a massive, massive inventory right now. Or go see them in Gonzales as well. They're open today. It's Gotros Outdoor Power. Gotros Outdoor Power.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
My father, J.B. Falgout, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgout.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's doubloon for just $1 that scores you extra cane sauce through April 3rd with any purchase. Let the good times roll this Mardi Gras with Raising Cane's. One love.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Less than a year before the expiration of Major League Baseball's collective bargaining agreement, the union is without its longtime leader following the resignation of Executive Director Tony Clark. The move comes in the wake of the Eastern District of New York's ongoing investigation into the finances and other dealings of the MLBPA. Who succeeds Clark is critical, considering the owner's push for a salary cap in the next labor deal, something the players firmly oppose. ESPN MLB insider Jeff Passan.
They need good leadership in place because this is going to be a fight, and it's going to be a long fight, and it's going to be a contested fight. And the moves that the MLBPA makes now and the leader that the players choose going forward, I think is going to have a large effect on the ultimate outcome.
Twins ace Pablo Lopez facing season-ending Tommy John surgery on a significant tear in the UCL of his right elbow. He'll be getting a second opinion before deciding whether to have surgery. North Carolina star forward Caleb Wilson, inching toward a return soon, is learning to play with a cast on his fractured left hand. Number 16 UNC, home to NC State tonight, 7 Eastern, ESPN.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Wednesday, we are weeks away from free agency in the NFL, but it's never too early to tell you the best landing spots for the biggest free agents available. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Now, the Hunt Palmer Show.
Yes! I feel like I've been waiting for this my entire life.
You're listening to the Hunt Palmer Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Jolly good fun. Jolly good.
Locking down the middle of the day.
America's favorite daytime fun show.
Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Hour 2, Mardi Gras edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Sounds like my friends with young kids are exiting the parade festivities down there in the 504. I know there are various different places celebrating today. New Roads has a great family-friendly parade over there. I know a lot of folks down well south of I-10 are celebrating and will be into the afternoon and evening hours. But as of this evening, Mardi Gras will be in the rearview mirror. If you're out on the route right now or headed home from a route right now, we appreciate you hanging with us. Maybe you're like us and you're just working. I told my buddies, like a lot of them went out in New Orleans earlier today, and I was like, God, I mean, not to play into the cliche, but it's kind of just Tuesday here. Like, the sales team's not here, but I wrote my story at 8 o'clock this morning. I wrote another one at noon. I did my show today. I got trivia this evening. I don't have a lot. I'm wearing purple and green, if that counts for anything, but not a lot of Mardi Gras festivities here. I kind of left that in the rearview mirror on Sunday. But thank you all for being with us here. We'll get things moving here in hour number 2. I want to talk about Mason Braun in 15 minutes because I thought we had a great conversation with him last night, and we'll briefly touch on LSU and Texas this evening later on in the hour. But one of the bigger storylines of the first 4 days of LSU baseball season has absolutely been Gavin Gry. I spent some time on it in the show open today, and we're going to spend some more time on it today because I think it's a fascinating deal. Gry has dominated through 2 outings. He's got 10 strikeouts and no walks in 4 1/3 innings. He's only allowed 1 hit in 4 1/3. He's got his fastball back up to 92, 93 miles an hour, sitting closer to 92. He's got a couple different breaking balls. The changeup looks really good, and he's got that same trademark competitiveness that he's always had. And the road for Gavin Gry to get here is really, really wild because I think a lot of people may not immediately remember that this was the Louisiana Player of the Year in high school who came in as a shortstop from Barb. He was a shortstop. And I was excited to see him. And I went out there in the fall and watched him play shortstop, and he could play shortstop. He could not hit. He did not hit. I mean, I watched him at bat after bat because I was thinking, this guy's state player of the year, Barb, like those guys, like he's going to be a really good LSU shortstop. And he didn't hit. And unbeknownst to me and most of the LSU fan base and those covering the team, Jay Johnson called him around Christmas time of that first year and said, hey, like, we've got Jordan Thompson here. I think we need to get your arm moving a little bit. See what we can do. And if you remember, like, pretty early on, they tossed him out there in an insignificant game. And then all of a sudden, LSU's playing South Carolina and Ole Miss in these critical moments. And freshman, former shortstop Gavin Gry is out there trying to close games. And he did. And you all know he threw the last pitch of the College World Series. But, like, it was a long journey to get to that point. And he pitched again as a sophomore, and he had a good year. I mean, his effort in the Chapel Hill Regional got LSU to that Game 7. I mean, he was nails, and he was going through. That North Carolina lineup was no joke, man. Gallon Gallagher and Parks Harbor, and then, of course, you had the stud first-round pick that everybody was terrified of. His name's escaping me right now. It may come to me as I'm talking about this. You remember it in the Bayou Ford chat. Tell me, big right-handed hitter that's a freak athlete who about hit one into the trees off Gidry, and then Gidry made the pitch to get him out. And he was great as a pitcher. And then the thought was, entering last season, like, they're going to stretch him out, and he might have a chance to start. And I watched him stretch out in the fall, and I watched him stretch out preseason. Musso, Senemi, Vance, Honeycutt. That's the one. And like, so Gidry was in line to potentially be a starter. And the first weekend came and went, and Gidry didn't pitch. And I said, okay, that makes sense. They're going to start him in the first midweek game. And I think they thought about it, but it was hurting. And here's where we detour a little bit here, based on last night's conversation. I don't care how coaches handle injuries in the media. I don't care at all. You can tell me, Paul Maneri tells you what the injury is, what the procedure is called to fix it, what doctor's doing it, what time of day the surgery is, what the recovery is when he's coming back. He tells you everything. That's fine. Les Miles, not telling you squat. That's fine too. Ed Ogeron was kind of in the middle, maybe, maybe not. Matt McMahon, pretty transparent when he can be. And Jay Johnson hides some stuff. He does, and I'm fine with it. I don't care. I don't have the right to know as a fan. I don't. It's kids, injuries. If you think there's a competitive disadvantage for disclosing injuries, fine. But we didn't really get why Jay Johnson was dragging this Gavin Gidry thing out last year, because we just couldn't get any answers. And I just kind of thought, oh, he's just playing coy. Listen to Gavin Gidry talk about this last night. It's a unique situation because it's not one that you can directly parallel to anybody else. But Jay Johnson wasn't making stuff up last year. He was confused. Gavin Gidry was confused. It left us confused. This is how it played out in Gavin's head.
I mean, you know as much as I know, to be completely honest with you. It was the weirdest thing that I've ever had to deal with in my entire life. Because even whenever I was hurt during the season, there'd be some days where, like, I would wake up and I was like, okay, like, we're starting to kind of get some things going. We're starting to figure it out. Like, I'm going to pitch this year. And then, like, 3 days later, it would be just like, I can't sleep because I'm in so much pain. And it was just a complete, like, everything that y'all went through, from coach telling y'all he's going to pitch, he's not going to pitch, he's going to pitch, he's not going to, is the exact same thing that I experienced. Like, I know y'all are probably getting really upset with him because y'all thought that he was just leading y'all on. But the day-to-day just, I'm going to be good and then I'm not going to be good, I was dealing with the exact same thing. So it was the weirdest thing I've ever had to deal with in my whole life, for sure.
And it wore on him. And he talked about it last night. And we met with him. We can't play 10 minutes worth of sound on the show, so I'm not going to do that. But I'll relay kind of what we heard from him. And it's that mentally it hurt. It was so draining on him. And then they decided what was wrong, and they had the procedure, right, to fix his back. And then the doctors told Jay Johnson, like, hey, there's going to be a point where you don't think he's ever coming back. And it will. Just wait. And Jay Johnson said he got to that point. And we had heard Jay Johnson say that previously. But what Gavin told us last night is, I had a conversation with my parents, like, if this baseball thing doesn't work out, like, here's what we need to do. He was ready to quit playing baseball because he didn't know that his back would respond to doing it. And then finally, it went away. The procedure helped. The recovery happened. The rehabilitation was hard, but he got through it. And I've told y'all many times, like, we watched him in the fall dominate. And we watched him in the preseason dominate. And then you've seen him through 2 outings dominate. And I'm fully aware of the teams he's dominating. Though I do think that Milwaukee and Kent State will be good teams, maybe very good teams in their conference. They would be probably 15th of a 16 SEC, right? Like, I think they're probably on Missouri's level, maybe better than Missouri. But beyond that, not competitive with a lot of the other teams. And South Carolina may be in that category, if we're being frank. But point being, this is not an SEC level group of competition. I know that. But Guidry's arsenal, I think, is going to play in the bullpen. And I think that he throws hard enough to mix in those multiple breaking balls. And when you see the spin coming out of his hand, you don't know if it's that big hammer or that shorter, tighter one. But it's coming, and it's just hard to square up. And they haven't through more than 4 innings. And you know he's going to be competitive. And one thing you know about Gavin Gry, he's going to throw strikes. And that's just valuable. So Jay Johnson is really, really comfortable with Gidry right now. He earned his first save last night. There will be more to come. I told you in my preseason projections, I thought 4 guys would have multiple saves. I feel pretty good about that. I think Gidry. I think Sheeran. I think right now, potentially Cooper Williams. I think Zach Cowan. I think Grant Fontenot. Like, I think there are different options to go get those multiple saves. But Gidry's going to be one. And the thing that you're seeing with Jay Johnson here, and that you saw last year with Cowan, and you saw last year with Evans, and you saw 2 years ago with Herring, is that sometimes he's going to stretch these guys out and go get a 2 2.2 inning save. You saw 2 1/3 inning last night from Gidry. That's going to sit you down for the next day. So you got to have 3 guys ready to do that if you're going to extend. And right now they've got the guys to do it. So I just thought a great story from Gavin Gidry. I didn't know that Gavin Gidry was telling his parents, like, if this baseball thing doesn't work out, what are we going to do? And I didn't know that nobody knew what the injury was last year. And I didn't know that Jay Johnson was kind of like, I think he's going to pitch next week, but we'll see. And that sounded weird to me, but they thought he might pitch the next week. And he told you, like, sometimes on Thursday, feels good. Wake up Saturday, can't get out of bed. Like, that's tough on a college kid. And Gidry said he's at the best spot he's been from a weight perspective. He told us the first thing last night, he was in the best shape with his body he's ever been in his entire life. And it's showing right now. Incredible stuff that we've seen from him in the early going, and I think a really, really incredible story. Now, that's one story. We heard another story last night, which is why the press conference has lasted so long. Mason Braun had some really interesting things to say about his journey as well, including something he didn't tell his parents about. We'll talk about that when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Lifetime Roofing. LifetimeRoofingLA.com is that website. LifetimeRoofingLA.com. As of January 1st, they're so fired up to offer you a lifetime workmanship warranty. That warranty, of course, covers the workmanship, but also the materials, which are backed by CertainTeed, one of the oldest, most trusted names in building materials. Look, if you need a new roof, call Lifetime Roofing LA. If you don't know if you need a new roof, have them come inspect it. If you need a new roof, they'll tell you. And they'll help you work with your carrier. They'll help you with financing options, whether that's a deductible or the whole roof. And if you just need a tune-up to fortify that roof, as storm season approaches, they'll do that. They're not here just to slap that new roof on and take the biggest paycheck they can grab. They're part of this community. They've been here for a long time. They will be here for a long time. They've got a growing and incredible team and a great facility right there off College Drive. And they're here for the long haul. So if you're looking for a new roof or a roof repair, Lifetime Roofing can do that for you. Financing options, 0% for 18 months. And, of course, that lifetime workmanship warranty. It's Lifetime Roofing. You can find them online at lifetimeroofingla.com. Lifetimeroofingla.com.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
My father, J.B. Falgout, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgout.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
So, continuing on from story time from the press conferences last night, LSU beat Kent State, and we got a chance to chat with Gavin Gry and Mason Braun, and both interviews went an extended amount of time because we started talking about the past, and I just found it to be fascinating. Mason Braun, I had never spoken with before, and he came to postgame last night. I will tell you this, not that it's significant, this is just my observation. On the field, he doesn't look big on the field. In person, like, he's a big kid. He is a big kid. He doesn't look like Jared Jones. He doesn't look like Matt Clark. But he's well put together, and it makes a lot of sense why he hits with the power that he does. But Braun's story is an interesting one, and it's one, again, I can't play 10 minutes of sound, but I can talk you through my impressions of kind of the things that he had to say. And first of all, he committed to Virginia Tech out of South Bend, Indiana, as a freshman. and always wanted to play college baseball, and told us last night that LSU was his dream school, but that he thought that dream wasn't attainable. He's like, well, he said, you look at this place, they got 8 national championships. Like, how about some more realistic dreams? So he commits to Virginia Tech, okay? And keeps hitting, keeps playing. And then Jay Johnson said that Jay went to the area code games in San Diego. Top 250 juniors to be in the country go to this showcase, and they play some games, and you see all the elite pitchers and all the elite hitters, and Mason Braun was there. And Mason Braun was hitting a ton of line drives. And then Jay said, he's like, okay, that guy stands out. Also, he's currently not 6'4", which is not good for a college player because pro guys like 6'4". He plays first base and left field, which are the non-premium positions. Another demerit to the MLB draft guys. This is a guy that's going to play college baseball because he's not a shortstop. He's not a catcher. He's not a center fielder. He's not 6'5". He's got college traits. So he really pursued Mason Braun hard, but all the time, Mason Braun was being aggressively pursued by Tony Vitello at Tennessee and Kevin O'Sullivan at Florida, and Jay was saying, this guy's important. We got to get this guy. And what I didn't know is that Mason Braun had family that lived in Louisiana at a certain point. His stepmom's sister, or something along those lines, lived in Louisiana for a couple years on a job, and he had come down to visit multiple occasions and had been to LSU baseball games before. So you got a little bit of history there. And all of a sudden, it comes down time to make a commitment. He flips from Virginia Tech to LSU. But then you got to get through the draft. And Jay was sweating in July this year. He just was. The draft coming through was a big, big deal. And they got crushed in the draft. Like, their signing class just got picked apart. But Braun was a guy that he talked to in the night before the draft started, and they felt like they had a good plan, felt like they had a good chance to get him through the draft, and they did. So he comes down to Baton Rouge, and he just hit like crazy. And he was the best hitter on the team in the preseason. Not in the entirety of the fall. Aaron Beatty led the team in average for the fall, but he was good in the fall, and he was great preseason. So the question is, like, can you crack into the starting lineup? There's not a lot of places to crack into the starting lineup. You're not taking Stanfield's job. You're not taking Curiel's job. You're not taking Jake Brown's job. And Zach York, if you hadn't seen, pretty good hitter. So at this point, like, Braun, who grew up playing high school outfield and has played a little bit of first base, he told us last night, he's like, yeah, first base is on all the internet stuff, but like, I've been an outfielder my whole life, and I'll play wherever they need me to. But there's not really anywhere else for him to go besides DH. And then you figure he's probably not going to DH against lefties. Well, game 1, Milwaukee's throwing a left-handed pitcher, right? So he figures he's not going to play. Well, Jay calls him the night before the game, says, hey, you're playing. You're in the DH spot, opening day, even against the lefter, you're in there. And so Braun was thrilled. He said he was so fired up that something you worked so hard for kind of comes true. And so the natural inclination to me, when you get that phone call, would be, hey, call up the family. Tell them, I know, because they came down from South Bend to go to the game on Friday, on opening day. And Mason's starting as a true freshman. He said he didn't tell them. He did not tell them he was in the lineup. He's like, yeah, I just wanted them to have the moment. So, like, he doesn't tell his family. They show up at the box. Bill Franquez's PA voice comes through. Starting lineups, DH, Mason Braun. He said his stepmom was crying, like the whole deal. There's no way I would have been able to hold that in for, I mean, I'm just guessing here, probably told him about 7 o'clock that night, 8 o'clock that night. So you're talking about 16 hours that you just got to not tell him?
Hunt, if you ask me, that's one of the most boss things that anybody could ever do. They should have had like a secret cam on his family in the crowd, like just to get that initial reaction hearing his name getting called out in the starting lineup.
Didn't tell him. But obviously a huge moment for him to come down and do that. And the vibes that I got from him last night were, one, he's just very young. He popped in the He popped in the interview room, and to set the scene, it's a pretty small room. It looks like if there's a really rich person who had a home theater that was a little bit too big, that's kind of what it looks like. There's probably 25 seats in this room, and it's stadium seating down, and then they sit in front of us. There's like 12 of us in there, maybe 6 one day on a midweek game like that. Maybe you're playing Tennessee on a Friday night, there's 25, but not a lot of us kind of huddled around. And usually the players like hop in and they stand in front of the microphone and kind of wait, and then we ask them a question and they kind of go. It's kind of subdued. He walks in and he goes, "Hey everybody. Hey, how are y'all? I'm Mason." He was just like so bubbly and like happy, and it felt like a young player. Gavin Gry came in after Jay, and he walked in his flip-flops and said, "Hey, how y'all doing?" And gave a great press conference, but certainly you could tell Gavin's been around for 4 years and this kid's been around for 4 months. And he's young in that way, but when he started talking about hitting, that part went away. And he sounded like, he's like, well, like I've faced good pitching, and you come to LSU and in the fall, like everybody you see is 95, 96. So you have to get used to it. And I think he got used to it. And it was interesting, the dichotomy between for lack of a better term, like I don't think this is reaching here, the boy that walked in, and then he starts talking a little bit about hitting, and you see there's a maturation to the baseball player there. And there's going to be a match of those two things. And he's going to be a star. He's going to be a star. That swing last night, not everybody can make that swing. Not everybody, as a true freshman from the Midwest, not Florida, not Southern California or Texas, where they're playing high-level baseball all year round. He's in Indiana. You can't play baseball half the year in Indiana. For him to come down and assimilate to college baseball the way that he has, and to put some of these swings on balls that we've seen, I've seen him fly the seats in right field to the pull side. I had not seen him take the ball out, up, and away and drive it beyond the foul pole fair like he did last night. He's got some special hitter's tools. And as I mentioned there at the front, he's just a little bit bigger than he looks on TV or than he looks at practice from the 23rd row that I'm looking at. Like he's a little bit bigger. And it makes sense because he hits the ball out of the ballpark as well as he does. But the last thing I'll tell you on Mason Braun, and this is something that I've heard from so many LSU baseball players over the last 4 years. It's amazing. They asked, okay, so can you play the outfield? He's like, oh, I play outfield my whole life. Like, I can do that. And he's played a lot of first. And then he said, but I'll just do whatever they need. If it's catcher, I'll learn how to put the gear on and I'll go back there and do it. And there's so many LSU baseball players that Jay Johnson has brought into this machine that have taken that kind of approach. From old players like Cade Beloso and Gavin Dugas, to old players like Chase Shores last year, to brand new young players like Mason Braun this year that are like, whatever you need, I'm here to do it. You think Jake Brown needed to be platooned for last year? Did Jake Brown complain one time last year? Or did he just go out there against right-handed pitching and hit nuclear weapons? That's what he did. And now he's getting a chance to hit against everybody, and he's doing it now. The culture Jay Johnson has instilled in this program, from the freshmen who show up to the seniors who walk out the door, to the first-round pick juniors. The cohesion and the acceptance of roles on a team that's loaded and is constantly pinch hitting and constantly pinch running and constantly bringing in new pitchers and constantly pulling guys in and out of the rotation, and nobody seems to complain. I can think of one guy that from the outside I got word was not super thrilled with his role. Now, I'm not saying he's the only one, but I can think of one. He transferred in the SEC, and he still plays in the SEC. One guy that it did not appear enjoyed the role that he had, and he was hurt the whole time he was here anyway. But the buy-in from these guys, position players and pitchers, to do what is asked to go win games, and to do so willingly, and in a lot of cases, happily, is impressive to watch of the years I've been covering college sports. And so just cool stuff, I thought, from the press conferences last night. Go check out the press conferences online. You can find some videos of those. Two really good representatives of LSU in very, very different spots in their baseball lives. But I thought very, very enlightening stuff from those two guys. So just wanted to have some time to chat about that here on this Mardi Gras day. Let's take a time out. We'll come back and preview tonight next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC, FabryChevrolet.com, FabryChevrolet.com. Trucks. If you're looking for a new truck, whether your lease is about to be up or you feel like your truck may be on its last legs, or you just think 2026 is the year you'd like to get your first truck, well, this is a great time to do that at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. The Chevy Silverado is up to $11,000 off MSRP or 1.9% APR financing. Of course, the GMC Sierra's been telling you every single day, up to $13,000 off MSRP. That is no joke. And you can get 0% APR as well. So you're talking about incredible deals at Fabry. You know you're going to get that great buying experience. You know what the Fabry family represents in this city, and they do so now at that new point in St. Francisville on Highway 61. You can find the entire inventory online at FabryChevrolet.com. That's FabryChevrolet.com.
My father, J.B. Falgout, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgout.
Championships are won with preparation, and so are great roofs.
The Tigers don't cut corners on the floor. Parrish Construction and Roofing won't cut corners on your home either.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
ParrishBuilt.com. After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
So I usually spend the commercial break scrolling through social media, see if anything breaks. I can't see that anything in the sports world has broken, but I did see a tweet that said, breaking, The Earth has officially completed half of its lifespan. It will end with the sun swallowing us in the future. So I think based on the math that we see here, it looks like we got about 4.5 billion years left.
Oh.
So make sure you eat your vitamins in the morning. Make sure you eat your Wheaties. Go see your primary care doctor at Ochsner.
Right.
And make sure, because you get if you're going to be around the rest of it, 4.5 billion is about what we got left.
I feel good, man. Especially I was traumatized by the movie 2012 as a 12-year-old when that movie came out. I was like, okay, end of the world coming December 12th, 2012. Like, this is it. Waited, came home from school, and I'm like, oh my God, nothing happened. So 4.5 billion years, I feel good, Hunt.
You got it.
Can you tell me this, though? In those 4.5 billion years that we have left, do you think that we'll be able to see a New Orleans Pelicans championship?
No, okay. I do not. I do not think so.
Damn.
I just don't like the trajectory of the team right now. So it's hard for me in those 4.5 billion to extrapolate that out. I think LSU basketball's got a chance. That's my white whale. I've got.
They got a chance.
I've got. That I physically watched with my own eyes and remember. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got 5 LSU baseball, 3 LSU football, and 1 Cubs. I have no LSU basketball. That's my white whale that I got to get to. I think the Saints might win a couple more in the 4.5 billion.
Man. Shuck? Come on, man. Shuck and lemon?
4.5 billion years.
Come on.
Shuck. But the Pelicans, I can't share that optimism with you there.
It's good. We'll probably be the Las Vegas Rattlesnakes or something. It's fine.
Okay. All right. So 4.5 billion years left is what the Earth technically has to go. All right. Let's talk about, briefly, LSU basketball tonight. They'll play Texas in Austin. It's the second leg of the Orange UT two-step that LSU is going on here. They were in Knoxville on Saturday, now in Austin. Texas is 16-9 on the season. They're 7-5 in SEC play. They've won 4 straight in the league. Also 11-3 at home on the season. On Saturday, they went to Columbia and beat Missouri by 17 points. It's a team that's very good on offense here. Offensive efficiency, 15th in the country. Points per game, they're 28th in the country. They do a great job of getting to the free throw line. They're 3rd in the nation in free throw makes per game. They don't shoot a lot of threes, 224th in the country, and they're good on the offensive glass at 12th in the nation in offensive rebounding percentage. The guy to watch here is Dalen Swain, who was the best player for Coach Miller at Xavier and now has gone over to Austin at Texas. Look, he's 6'8", 225. In SEC games, he's averaging 20.4 points per game. Listen to these shooting percentages for a 6'8 big at Texas and Dalen Swain. 37% from the three-point line, 59% on field goals, and 83% from the free throw line. That's pretty salty. At Auburn, he scored 30. At Kentucky, he scored 29. So this is a guy that LSU is going to have to deal with. I don't have a ton of confidence in that. The good news for LSU, if you're going to try to extrapolate some out here, Texas has not been great on defense. 170th in defensive efficiency. They are 115th in opposing field goal percentage. They don't block shots. 292nd in the country in blocks. If LSU is going to keep up here, it's going to have to be scoring the ball. And the good news is that Max McKinnon not listed on the availability report last night, so he should be ready to go. Jalen Reese played his best game as an LSU Tiger coming up on Saturday. He played all 40 minutes. He knocked down some shots. He only turned the ball over 1 time. Dished out 4 assists. Matty Mann said after the game he thought he grew up. I would agree with that. And this is one of those things that's tough, right? Because in a bygone era, I could break down this team and be like, well, Robert Miller has shown some things, and Jalen Reese is coming along as a freshman point guard, and like there are some guys on this team you can build around moving forward. But as we all know, that's out the window with the portal. I can't accurately project one player to be on the team next year. Not one. I mean, when there was a coaching change the last time around here, you had one guy come back, and Monty Wilkinson. That was it. So I can't do that. I can only talk about this team. This team has lost 3 games in a row. This team is an 11.5-point dog tonight. This team is going to have a very, very difficult time stopping Texas penetrating, getting to the free throw line, and scoring a bunch of points. Your only hope is to have a flamethrower from deep and to really score the ball well with McKinnon, with Sutton, with Reese playing the way he did on Saturday. However, I can't sit here and project that. It's just the way it is. I would take Texas to cover the 11.5. Wouldn't shock me if LSU hung around, but since LSU hung around for a lot of the game on Saturday against Tennessee, it feels like maybe not this time around. Maybe not. But this Texas program, I think, is on the way up. Miller is a really good coach. He's had success in multiple places, and I think he'll have success at Texas. And it paints a picture of what's possible when a coach comes in and brings some players in and gets a buy-in. They started out in a bumpy spot. They were 3-5 in the league, but since they've rattled off 4 in a row, and they're right now, I would suggest a better than 50% chance to make the NCAA tournament. 7-5, you just got to win a couple more games in the league, and you should be okay. And tonight they should. They're 11.5-point favorites over LSU. So we'll see what the Tigers can do in Austin. That game is at 8 o'clock tonight from Moody Center. We'll tell you that we are having sports trivia tonight at Court to Table. So if you'd like to come out and win some gift cards, close your Mardi Gras in style, please do. We'll start up at 8 o'clock right when the LSU-Texas game starts. The game will be on. You can watch it if you want. If you'd rather not watch it, you don't have to. We're going to be playing sports trivia. You can win $25 gift cards, 5 of them to be exact, to Court to Table. You can also win a 30 minutes on a pickleball court with second place. And we always have a good time. So if you're looking for something to do this evening, looking to get out of the house, maybe have a cold drink, maybe have something great to eat, watch LSU, win some gift cards, always a great time at Court to Table on Burbanks. Hopefully you will come see us for that and sports trivia this evening. Also got to remind you about my friends over at Ochsner. Mentioned Ochsner early on there. 4.5 billion years left. That means you got to take your heart health very seriously, right? Seriously, though. February is Heart Month at Ochsner. It's a great time to focus on your overall health and your wellness. Heart disease is the number one cause of death for men and women, but oftentimes it's preventable. You stay active with regular exercise and eat a balanced diet with fruits, veggies, whole grains, manage your stress, get enough sleep, and avoid smoking and excess alcohol. That can help. And your primary care provider is your partner in that prevention. They can help monitor your blood pressure and your cholesterol and your overall heart health. It's important to realize that regular checkups matter. So early detected and guidance can help you on track for a healthy heart. Make your heart health a priority this Heart Month. Schedule that primary care appointment at ochsner.org/brprimary. That's ochsner.org/brprimary. All right, we will step aside and close things out on a Mardi Gras edition of the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
One Bath and Closets. OneBathAndClosets.com is the website. David Duvall and his team, 30 years redesigning and remodeling bathrooms and closets. They handle everything from soup to nuts. So if you're looking for a revitalization of your bathroom or a transformation of your closet, they can absolutely do it. I promise you this. Go to the website, OneBathAndClosets.com. You'll see pictures of their great work. You'll see how beautiful these customized bathrooms and closets are. And that's the promise David makes to you. He's not going to go quickly just to get the job done, take the check, and get to the next one. He takes pride in doing the job right the first time and leaving the competition behind. And that's what you're going to get from David Duvall and One Bath and Closets. He's been at it 30 years. Don't just call the handy guy down the street and say, hey, can you fix this? Here's a couple bucks. No, go with the team that's licensed, certified, insured. Go with the team that's got a master plumber on staff. Go with a team that's been at this for 3 decades. Go with One Bath and Closets. Get that free consultation. That part doesn't cost you anything. So go online to OneBathAndClosets.com. OneBathAndClosets.com.
Another roof gone too soon. Looks like neglect. There's no doubt about it. This is a case of poor installation. At Pelican Roofing, we don't guess. We investigate to find the real cause of your roof's problems. Call Pelican Roofing for your free roof investigation today. Case closed.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's doubloon for just $1 that scores you extra cane sauce through April 3rd with any purchase. Let the good times roll this Mardi Gras with Raising Cane's. One love.
Okay, and what is our goal?
Less than 110.
That's right, less than 110.
We teach. We laugh. We pray.
Dear Heavenly Father, please guide our hands during this procedure.
Hey, how we feeling today?
I'm feeling better.
We heal.
You look better.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
We do all things
I got you. No way.
with great love. FMOL Health. This is how we help care.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gavin Gry, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know each case and client are unique and that no two cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to...
This is the Hunt Palmer Show on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Closing things down here on a Mardi Gras edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Appreciate y'all being with us here. No matter where you're taking in this Mardi Gras day, might be the office, might be the parade route, might be just a day off on the couch or in the car. We appreciate you being here on this Mardi Gras day. Hope everybody is safe and happy, and we get back into a little bit of a routine starting up tomorrow. Some news, and I don't see this in Take It or Leave It, so I'm going to talk about this briefly. I'm not sure what to make of this big picture. I do know it's a huge story in the world of sports.
Oh, Lord.
So Tony Clark has been the executive director of the Major League Baseball Players Association for years. I don't have a strong opinion on how he's done about that, but he's had the position for a while. I would assume he's been in good standing there. He resigned today, and it really shook the baseball world. Like, whoa, this is not the time for that, because as people that follow Major League Baseball know, after this season in 2026, we are getting a work stoppage because the owners are demanding a salary cap and the players are not going to agree to it. And that clash is going to cause a strike. So this is going to be the most contentious and important CBA that has been done in multiple decades. And now the MLBPA is without its executive director and has to come up with a new one. Well, that's the story that I knew 4 hours ago. It has developed now. Jeff Passan, and I had to check, this is Jeff Passan. He's verified. He's got 1.4 million followers. This is his tweet. MLBPA executive director Tony Clark resigned after an internal investigation revealed he had an inappropriate relationship with his sister-in-law, who had been hired by the union in 2023. So that's what we got. Again, I don't know what the result is for the CBA negotiation, but the timing on this is important. And so, again, I don't know how the players feel about Tony Clark. It would stand to reason, since he's been in that position as long as he has, they like him. I also don't know what his relationship is with Rob Manfred and with the ownership. Like, I would imagine that's where there's some contention, but now all of a sudden, it doesn't matter what his relationship is or what he's done. He's gone. So, not great decision-making on his part. That's going to be between him and his family, which that should make Christmas real fun. But Players Association needs a rep to negotiate the CBA. It's going to be the biggest one since the early 90s. Wild stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a bad one, like it'd be like Playmakers or something, one of those documentaries.
I was just about to say that. I was like, one could dare say the timing of it was comedic.
Yeah.
Like, this is actually comedic timing. And then it's his sister-in-law?
Yeah, not great.
Oh, Lord, jeez.
I don't know in what way the sister-in-law. There's a couple different ways you can get to sister-in-law, but still, it's not.
Yeah,
it's not good any way you slice it. There's no good way that it could shake out.
No, there's no. I don't think there's any way you could have like titled that headline to smooth it over anyway. Oh man, comedic timing to say the least.
I mean, the two that I'm doing this off the top of my head, but it's either his wife's sister, that's his sister-in-law, or his brother's wife.
I'm about to say. So, is there
it's
any
not
better?
Good.
I'm about to say, is there
not
better?
good. This is not good.
If you had to pick, like, is there a better one? I mean, both are dead end streets.
It's not good.
I'm about to say. Oh man, you said Christmas. Christmas is interesting. Are they even gonna get to Christmas? I'm about to say Easter.
No, they're
I'm
not.
about to say,
Easter's gonna be rough. Ash Wednesday's gonna be rough.
I'm about to say, you talk about Christmas.
All right, let's play Take It or Leave It. Good. Great.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
Okay, so I feel like the only story that's a good follow-up is not even in Take It or Leave It, because I was surfing the web as this was going on, so I thought you were about to break it. But so apparently IMG Academy, the football powerhouse in high school, is being fined $1.7 million for accepting fees linked to the Mexican drug cartel. So two students, they were caught getting not to say wiretap, but like they were caught getting tuition sent in from Mexico from a third party. So apparently that's a no-no. So IMG can find millions of dollars for accepting Mexican drug cartel money. Take it or leave it.
I mean, leave it. Leave it
alone. It's a good day.
Can everybody just calm down? Can everybody just calm down? Let's just wake up. Let's go to work. Let's get money from appropriate places.
Mardi Gras.
Not sleep with family members. Can we just calm down a little bit?
No, man, it's Mardi Gras.
Not to mention the other stuff that's going on that's well worse than all that stuff.
Exactly. Come on, man. This is
Jeez.
perfect. So 3 years after being selected the number 4 pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, Anthony Richardson's time with the Colts is probably coming to an end, as it's been inevitable that he's going to request a trade coming into this offseason. They're going to move forward with Daniel Jones. But as we know, Daniel Jones is coming off a torn Achilles. But teams will be asking to trade for Anthony Richardson this offseason. Take it or leave it.
I'll take it. They're always desperate for quarterbacks. This guy was not good at Florida.
Wasn't.
Not a good player. Can he run fast?
Yes.
He can. Can he throw it very far?
Extremely.
He can. Is he any good at quarterback? He is not. But somebody will trade for him. I guarantee.
Hey, Hunt, I think we could be living in a universe. We're looking at the end of Matt Stafford, and the Rams give up absolutely peanuts to get Anthony Richardson, and somehow Sean McVay turns him into what he's supposed to be. I'm just saying, that could be a crash course. We could be on a crash course.
No. McVay is smarter
than that. For peanuts? Peanuts on a dollar. Okay, so coming off a dazzling postseason run that was capped off by winning the Super Bowl MVP, Seattle Seahawks are going to let Kenneth Walker walk in free agency, as they're not going to franchise tag him. They're going to focus on more, I guess you should say, key players to bring back to try and go back-to-back in the Super Bowl. So take it or leave it, letting Kenneth Walker walk.
I'll take it. I mean, I'll take it. Got to get Charbonnet back, but he was thunder and lightning there for a long time until he got hurt in the playoffs. So if you feel like you got him and you want to make that money work, it's the whole running back deal. I'll just find another one. I'll just find another one, which is, the Saints are going to be in that situation with whether or not they want to go get a first-round pick in Jeremiah Love and prioritize the position, or feel like you can do it elsewhere. And the Seahawks obviously feel like they can get that elsewhere. We'll see what the Saints decide to do.
Yeah, I think this just shows you that this is what a smart front office does, understanding that we have more key positions that are needed. We already have, like I said, a Zach Charbonnet. Kenneth Walker's really good, but somebody else can pay him that money, and we'll just try and retool. So, Your boy Tiger Woods is not ruling out a return to professional golf as early as this year's Masters tournament in April. The 15-time major champion said Tuesday that he underwent. He said that Tuesday he underwent a lumbar disc replacement surgery in October. Also ruptured his left Achilles last March. So will Tiger Woods be back for the Masters? Take it or leave it.
I will leave it. I think Tiger played a little bit coy here. They said, "Are you ruling out the Masters?"
Yes.
And he said no. That could mean I'm going to the Champions Dinner. Like, I'll be at the Masters. I'm not ruling that out. So he's got some wiggle room there. He's not going to be playing in the Masters. His time is done. But I am encouraged that he said he's going to play in some Champions Tour events. He's now 50. He can ride in a cart out there at times. There's some rules. I don't know those rules, but walking is the hardest thing for him.
Most definitely.
And so if you can get a cart involved on the Champions Tour, which they allow for some folks, I'm all for it. So I still like watching Tiger hit golf shots. If they're on the Champions Tour, that's not going to mean as much, but they're still there. It's the thing about golf that guys hang around a little bit longer in your conscience. And so he's not going to force it. He knows he can't come back and win the Masters on one leg without practicing. Yeah. He could do that in 2002. He can't now. It's 2026. So I think that time is done. But that's okay.
That's it for a Mardi Gras edition of Take It or Leave It.
Awesome. That's it for us here on a Mardi Gras edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Again, appreciate y'all hanging out with us. If you missed any of the show on demand, a lot of baseball talk. Talked about a couple guys we talked to last night, recap the game, and then a little Saints talk as well, plus some LSU football with Jake Olsen sticking around as a safeties coach. So if you missed any of it, catch it on demand wherever you find your sound. That's it for us. Hope to see you tonight at Court's Table for Sports Trivia. Matt's going to drive you home on AFR. That's next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Marucci. What a gem here in Baton Rouge. Such a gem. Go by and take a tour at Marucci. Well, why would I take a tour at Marucci, Hunt? Well, it's obvious. It's the home of the official bat of Major League Baseball. It's where they make 1,200 bats every single day. It started as a labor of love back in 2004 in a backyard shed. Now you fast forward 2 decades, and it's synonymous with some of the biggest names in the sport. And it's all right here in Baton Rouge. So if you got a youth baseball team and you want to send them out instead of practice one day to do something fun, take them over to take a tour at Marucci. Same thing goes for a youth softball team. They can grab a bat, get in the cage, take some hacks in the hitter's house. Always a great, great option over there at Marucci. Every ticket for a tour comes with a 20% discount on the campus tour store and in the hitter's house. So go to maruccisports.com/campus-tour and go get you a tour at Marucci. It's maruccisports.com, maruccisports.com.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175